So UFC Fight Night Kansas City is this weekend. I'm going to go over my predictions. All right, we went perfect at 314. Let's try to keep the ball rolling. Doubt I will. Not as confident in these picks as I was at 314, but wasn't confident with my 314 picks. We're going to go main event down to opener because a lot of people watching this just want the main event. Let's be honest. You're here for the co-main and main. So we're going to start with the juicier one. All right, so let's just get straight into it. No messing about. I'm not here to fuck about. Let's go. Garry versus Prates. We've got the Cook on this side, Smoker on that side. Who I think is going to win? I think the Cook's getting it done, to be honest with you. And I'll go over some reasons why. And before you all angry type, no, the fighter nerds they actually have Aura and Riz, guys. Oh, I can't believe I just said that. Yes, they have Aura. Yes, they've got momentum. No, they're not undefeated. Bruno Brazil's in there. People just, just ignore that one. All right, these ones are the real fighting nerds. This guy is the real one. I'm going to pick his ear. Don't know what that was. I think Ian Garry's going to get it on points. I think he's going to get it on points. Here are my reasonings why. Yes, Carlos Prates is dangerous boxer. Dangerous boxer. Okay, and yes, Ian Garry. Getting caught by MVP. Well, that's MVP. Probably one of the best strikers at welterweight / middleweight at the moment. Okay, of course he's going to get caught by MVP. Who wouldn't? Shara just got fraud checked by MVP. MVP did what he wanted to Shara. Okay, in that fight on the feet, he's very, very good. Okay, the difference being there's a few variables in this that I'm thinking. Right, so number one. Carlos Prates hasn't gone 3 rounds, even 3 rounds in a very, very long time. He's not used to going that long. And I know you can train for 5 rounds, but actually fighting for 5 rounds and training for 5 rounds are two very different things. 2 extremely different things. I could train to fight 3 rounds. I probably couldn't fight 3 rounds against a fighter, though. You know, it's a different sort of... There's a burp. There's a different sort of pressure. It's different. On top of that, he smokes and he drinks. It's not very disciplined. I don't care how good someone is. Smoking, you cannot bypass the effects that smoking has on your stamina and your lungs. And he seems quite a bit of a chain smoker, you know. People think he's cool for doing it. I think it's silly. It's very, very silly. It's dangerous, and you're going to hurt yourself on the inside. And it's also going to have an effect on his cardio. Prates' only way of victory is to get in close and box Ian Garry. But this is where I think Ian Garry, he's got good fight IQ, has Ian Garry. He's very clever. He's going to keep this at range with his kicks. Teeps, low kicks, lateral movement. He's never going to stand in front of Prates until he starts getting tired in the later rounds. Then he might actually also initiate some grappling, some clinches up against the fence with his zesty clinch work that he's been working on. I just think Ian Garry, if he keeps at range, he wins this fight. And I think he can. I think it's going to be a pretty boring fight. Ian doesn't care about putting on an exciting spectacle. He cares about winning. Just like with MVP, when he realised, I can't outstrike MVP, I'll just grapple him then. And he did that. Because he knew, in that moment, fight IQ, I'm not winning on the feet. He could have let his ego get the better of him and try and really strike with MVP, but he realised, I need to win this fight. And it won't be on the feet. Alright? So he grappled him. He knows if he stands in front and tries to trade hands with Carlos Prates, it's not going to end well for him. It's really not going to end well. He's going to keep it at range, teeps, low kicks, lateral movement, and then as the fight goes on, mix in the grappling. I think his grappling is better than Prates. Okay, he nearly submitted Shavkat Rakhmonov. Alright. Nearly won that fight. Not even just with the submission, but nearly won it on points. Round 3 for me is a swing round in that fight against Ian Garry and Shavkat. Ian Garry actually landed more significant strikes than Shavkat in round 3, which in my opinion was a swing round that they gave to Shavkat. Not saying Ian won, I'm just saying it was a very close fight against the top of welterweight. Who has Carlos Prates beat? Neil Magny? No, Jeff Neal, sorry. No, which one was it? I get so confused. I get really confused with Neil Magny and Jeff Neal just because they both have Neil in the name. It was Jeff Neal. I'm retarded. He knocked out Jeff Neal. Okay. Ian beat Jeff Neal. Everyone's beat Jeff Neal. Who else has Carlos Prates really had a fight with? Ian Garry's fought. He's fought Neal. Like I said, went 5 rounds with Shavkat. Everyone thought Shavkat had run through Ian Garry on short notice, but he didn't. Made it competitive. I think Carlos Prates is very good at knocking out people that aren't very good. If you know what I mean. He's very good at when people stand in front of him and aren't very smart, he catches them. Ian knows the danger. Like I say, he's going to keep moving, keep it at range. My friend thinks Prates is going to win on points. I don't know where the friggin' fuck he's got that from. Considering the guy chain smokes, drinks, and he hasn't been past 3 rounds in, I believe, 6 years. Something silly like that. You can go fact check that if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's like 6 years. He's not been over 3 rounds. This dude does not fight 5-rounders. He gets it done early, and then that's it. He goes and smokes and drinks again. I think Ian Garry's going to get it done on points. It's going to be boring, but he's going to get it done. And this will be the Fighting Nerds' first loss. First loss of the Fighting Nerds. We're going to ignore Bruno Brazil, though. Ian Garry on points. Now, moving down the card. Smith versus Zhang Mingyang. Oh, I wonder who's going to win this one, guys. Oh, I wonder what's going to happen. Iron? What the fuck am I on about? Iron. Anthony. Pigheart. Shout out BXG. Pigheart. Smith versus Zhang Mingyang. Smith's just getting knocked out. I don't need to break it down. Smith is terrible. He's not good. He's never been good. He's got man boobs and he looks like a fucking baby. Alright, look at the dude. Zhang Mingyang is going to knock this dude out inside 2 rounds. I'd be very surprised if he went past round 1. To be honest with you, Zhang Mingyang's obviously the favourite. Smith is shit, but on top of everything else that he's had going on in his life, I'm not surprised that he's even shitter. Lost his coach and his friend. He's not in a good mindset. This will be his retirement fight, and Zhang's going to get it done. Knockout. Don't really need to go into it too much. Really don't need to go into it too much. That is the prediction. What much more do I need to break down? Smith is shit. Mingyang's good. He's got power. Smith just likes to curl up in a ball and give up. Mingyang via KO in round 1. Now we have Megamind versus, Giga Jedzi versus Onama. I think Onama's going to knock this dude out. Look at the size of Jedzi's head, dude. That's the biggest target I've ever seen. Dude like here looking like fucking Megamind and shit. Know what I mean? Like, he looks like he's going to start flying on some drones and save Metro City from, what was the villain's name? Something beginning with T. Wasn't Tyrant? Was it Tyrant? I can't remember. Someone let me know what the villain of, what Jonah Hill's character in Megamind was. He's trying to stop that shit from happening. I just think Onama's going to knock him out. Alright, Giga Jedzi, he's good. I've just got a feeling. Look at Onama. He's built like a fucking unit. He's exciting. I think Giga is just... I think he's just been around for too long. I think it's going to be like, it's everyone's run has to come to an end at some point. I think this will be Giga Jedzi's end. And Onama can be in the top 15. Giga can leave the top 15. And then you can look at giving him some ranked opponents then. Again, not really. I'm not really breaking down an awful lot. I'm just giving my predictions. Okay. I just really do feel like this is going to be another finish. Maybe inside 3 rounds. Maybe round 2, round 3 finish for Onama. If not, I can see Giga getting it done on points. I don't think he's going to knock out Onama though. I think it's either Giga on points, Onama by KO. I'm leaning more towards Onama by KO. I'm pretty sure he's the guy that copied Izzy's celebration with the arrows, which was pretty cringe, but, not Izzy's. His version was cringe, alright? Be original, David, come on. At least use a fucking crossbow, load it. What am I doing? Anyway. Michel Pereira versus probably Guru's favorite new fighter, Magamemedov. If you know why, then you know why. If you don't, go and look at where he's from, and then you'll realize this. I am not. This is probably the pick I'm least sure about because I like Pereira or Pereira, however you say his fucking name, Michel Pereira. I really do like him. I think he's cool. He's got an amazing style. He's flashy. He's unorthodox. Okay, and he's been on. He went on an absolute run until he ran into Anthony Hernandez, which is it is what it is. Hernandez is a fucking solid fighter. He is a solid fighter. Is it Anthony? Am I getting my names wrong? I don't think I am. Yeah, it is Anthony Hernandez, isn't it? Yeah, Anthony Hernandez. I'm just tired, guys. Leave me alone. Anthony Hernandez. I don't know why that sounded weird in my head. But Anthony Hernandez is no slouch. He's really fucking good. So I'm not even gonna give that. I'm not even gonna put that against Pereira or Pereira. All right. I really don't know who to pick. It's either gonna be, again, kind of like the Giga Jedzi versus Onama fight. I think it's either gonna be a Pereira like round 2 KO or a Magamemedov decision. I don't know what I'm gonna go. I'm probably gonna lean. You know what? Fuck it. Let's go for Pereira. Let's go for the fun one. Just by styling, wilding and styling. You know, he's got a really fun style. Abus is just. He is good. He is good. He's not really fought any he's had a few high level fights. But again, he's kind of like come up short. Kind of like Michel Pereira in a way when he fought Anthony Hernandez. He's had losses to Kai Baralho, Sean Strickland. No slouches by any means. But the rest of his wins, they've been okay. Nothing too impressive. I think Pereira's just been on a bit of a run, and I know he's coming off a loss, but before that he's been on a run at middleweight. So I'm gonna go with Pereira by KO, maybe round 1, round 2. He's just a fun guy. And if Pereira loses this fight, then I'm never picking him ever again. Moving on, Randy Brown versus Dolby. I wonder if that's how you say his name. I don't fucking know. I'm going Randy Brown by decision. I think he looked great against Brian Battle. I thought he won that fight, and I was rooting for Battle. I really was rooting for Battle, but Randy Brown was piecing him up, I'll be honest. And I thought Brian Battle was going to be like the next big welterweight threat after his head kick KO. Not his head kick KO, but his KO against I forget who it was, but the French dude in Paris. I was like, whoa, dude, this guy's going to be a problem. But I feel like Randy Brown really kind of maybe exposed him a little bit. But saying that, Brian Battle did come in heavy on the scales, really bad weight cut, gifted that decision though. Let's be honest, Randy Brown won that fight. I can just see him just doing it again to Dolby, just winning on points, keeping it at range, piecing him up though. Like really piecing him up, but I don't think he's going to knock him out. I can really see it going to points. Unanimous decision, like a 30-27 type shit for Randy Brown. He's good, man. He is really, really good. He just needs to... He just needs to... I don't know. I don't think he'll ever get ranked, but... I think he'll win. He'll win this one on points. I really do. That's my prediction for that one. Last fight on the main card, or the first fight even, Ikram Meliskov versus Andre Munes. I've got Ikram by finish. All right, he's only had 3 fights in the UFC. Both his fights before Rob Whittaker, were by KO. Obviously, he got KO'd by Rob Whittaker. A huge jump up on short notice. So I'm not going to really hold it against him. You can't really judge Ikram off of that one loss, because it was a big jump. it was a big jump. And like I said, you know, he only had fucking two, was it two? Three, two UFC fights. Two fights in the UFC before Robert Whittaker. And obviously Robert Whittaker's no slouch. I can't believe people were picking Meliskov to beat Robert Whittaker after two unranked wins in the UFC. It's crazy, but people were picking him. I think this is winnable for Ikram. Needs to work his way back up. Maybe, you know, work his way back up to fight lower ranked guys. Don't jump straight up to number 2, you know, or whatever Robert Whittaker was at the time, number 2, number 3. I can see this being a finish for Ikram. Maybe another TKO, you know, and then he can really start building like properly, you know, like actually working his way up rather than being rushed to the main. Well, was it the main event slot? It was the main event slot. It was a fight night because it was supposed to be Hamzat versus Rob, but then obviously Hamzat pulled out, number 1 bullshit guy, and then Ikram stepped in and then got KO'd in the first round. It is what it is, but I got a feeling he's going to get it done this time again. You know, he's not a bad fighter. It's just, I think the jump up in competition was too much, plus the short notice. You know, it's very unfavourable circumstances for him. I don't think he got fraud checked. People were saying, oh, fraud check. No. Just not good circumstances for the guy. So, in closing, I have Ikram by finish. Randy Brown by decision. Pereira by finish. Not sure about this one, though. Not sure about it at all. Onama by finish. Zhang by finish. I've got a lot of finishes on here. And Garry on points. They're my predictions. Let me know what you guys think down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I probably think a lot of people are going to disagree with my Ian Garry pick. But that's fine. A lot of people disagreed with my Merab pick and my Giri pick. Yeah? And my Paddy Pimblett pick. So, it is what it is. Like, subscribe, links down below. Till next time, I'll see you in a bit.